Morning all, it's what, 7:32 Monday morning, the 29th of December 2014. The plan is to do some fishing today, Mark, on another winter session. We're sitting in the van, we've literally arrived about 2 minutes and
we're going to stop in here for a bit.
It's safe to say there's a lid on it, mate, there.
There is, unfortunately, yeah. Unbelievable the contrast to last week. I hadn't even got my coat on.
A week today?
Yeah, this time last week, well, on the morning we did, but by the afternoon we took our coats off and it was pleasant, 13 degrees. And what a difference a week makes.
It has, mate.
It's froze solid.
Yep, we having the debate on the way to the lake from home. And Mark made a good point, saying if there was a little bit of wind, it may have just give us a bit of hope. But yeah,
it looks bleak.
It does look bleak, mate. So we've just been told by the owner that there's a contest planned today as well. So whether they're going to continue with that, I mean,
I've got a rope in the back if they want to use that to break it. They're only pole fishing, so they'll probably might be able to clear a few bits and bobs out. But Rob did say yesterday it was froze on the morning, but by dinner time it had thawed out, so we might hang around for a little bit, but I think it was a bit colder last night than the night before, so we'll have to see how things go, but it don't look very appetising like it did last week.
Not at all, mate. So I think we'll sit here, you finish your coffee.
Yeah, I don't think my lights are going to melt it.
No,
hopefully the sun will come up and do us a few favours.
We'll go for a walk, see what's about. Have a look at the little lake over the back and, I don't know.
Yeah, we've actually got to go on the little lake today because, like Matt said, there's a contest on the big lake today, so let's just hope the sun gets up over there and frees a corner up for us and we'll try.
Yeah, I mean, that far side, it's quite deep, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, it's up to about 10-12 foot, so.
But another thing that we've talked about this morning is, okay, if you were coming down here to fish a pole for the roach and what have you, I don't know, 8 metres would be sufficient, but when you're carp fishing, really you've got to be fishing a lot further than that, certainly on this big pool. But saying that, as you just said, if there is a match planned for today, and if it does go ahead, we've got no choice, if conditions allow, to go on the small lake. So, and obviously it is a lot smaller, so whether the distance wouldn't be so much of an issue on there, I don't know.
But probably not. I mean, I had a cracking fish out there 3 or 4 years ago.
Certainly did, mate, I remember that well.
I was only fishing out probably 2 lengths, so. And that was just over £20, wasn't it? £23,
yeah,
something. So
immaculate fish, wasn't it, that
beautiful fish in here if you can get on them. But sometimes the fortune sort of gets on the brave people this time of year. And
well, I don't think anyone can fault our effort, mate.
Well,
so you sup up and then we'll have a walk and take it from there. So fingers crossed, toes crossed, arms crossed, legs crossed. We can get some rods out today. But I've got to be, if I'm truthfully honest, it's not looking very good.
We're going to have to see how thick the ice actually is.
Yep. Right, whip round to the other side of the lake now. I don't know if you can hear the pinging of the ice there as them Canadians try to manoeuvre. Right. Mark's popped off to the small lake. So I'll keep the camera rolling, folks. Well, as you can see, that ground is solid. Here we are, heading over towards the small lake. A bit of a patch there, folks. Contest finish sign. There we go, here's a small one. Oh, look at that. Near the aerator. We'll whip round to the other side of the lake and see Mark. Well, Marcus, he's never a beaten man. He's not thrown in the towel in just yet, so
we might be beaten very shortly. We're going to give it a go.
Going to attempt to break the ice, God bless him.
See if we can get a rod in.
Right, before you do it, Mark, what's the chances out of 10?
What, that I'm going to go in or this is going to go in?
Well, I think the log will go in. I hope you don't go in.
What, to catch, try and catch a fish today?
To try and break some ice?
Ask me again after this throw.
Okay. He's gone through.
I should say we'll get a rod in. Pretty tough though.
We were just talking to a lad in the car park who's fishing the match this morning. And he told us yesterday there was carp caught in a silverfish match, so on the other lake, the bigger lake, the carp are still active. And they had to break the ice there yesterday, so that's give us a bit of encouragement. So, personally I think this is a two-man job, so I'm going to stick the camera down for a moment and I'm going to go and give Mark a help and try and break some ice so we can at least get a couple of rods in the water. So hopefully the next time you see us we'll have some liquid. Fingers crossed. Well, success. We're finally angling after a lot of hard work. Got in for an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours. We've managed to break some ice and well, get some rigs in the water, that's all I can say. Far from ideal conditions. The sun is absolutely beating down to the left of me here. It's I'm in a real sun trap here and you probably can't see it on the camera, but the steam's actually coming off that peg there. So now I'm trying to zoom in there. I don't think you can see it, folks. But you may be able to hear the breaking of ice in the distance. The pool to my left, the lads are still battering the ice away who are on the match. I don't think all 20 have braved it though. I think they're down to about 10. And fair play to the lads who've stuck it out and going to fish the match till 3:30 this afternoon. But yeah, we're fishing. So I've opted for a naked chod rig on the left hand rod on a nice fluoro-y crabby boilie, and the right hand rod is the traditional snowman presentation with a nice high-vis pop-up on the top, and I've literally crumbed about 3 boilies up and just scattered them round. So I've set a couple of traps. I've got a feeling I'm going to be in for a long day, and if one of them rattles off and we manage to bag one, it's going to be some achievement. But it's half the battle with the rods in the water, so I think I'm going to stick the kettle on and make a well-deserved and earned brew. First one of the day. So let's see how the day pans out then, folks. I'm fishing, so is Mark. Brilliant. Well, a bit of an update, folks. There isn't a fat lot I can say, to be honest. If you can just see Mark there through the trees, he's just moved. The reason being is the swim to my right, there's virtually a dividing line between the two of us. I've been sat in glorious sunshine all day, Mark's been sat in the shade, and the lake's just refroze. So he's gone round to the left hand side of the lake and he's made himself a little channel which should see him through the duration of the day, and he's going to edge his bets there for the next 2 hours. Really up against it today, folks, but we've got to be in it to win it. As Mark prepares to stick out the first rod. There you go. Good luck, mate. The old moon high in the sky at around about 4 PM in the afternoon, and
It's not even that late, mate. It's only 20 to 4.
Is it 20 to 4?
Unbelievable.
There you go then.
mean, and the peg I was fishing, as you can see, doesn't look like we've even broke the ice on it today.
No, I was just going to say Mark's popped round from his new swim to my swim, and as you just said, there's his old swim.
Doesn't look like we've made an impression on it at all.
Yep, I was filming you this morning around about 8:30, 9 o'clock with a nice chain with a house brick and a piece of blue rope, smashing the hell out of the water, and as Mark has said, you wouldn't think that has been touched all day.
By about 1:30 it was froze up, wasn't it, and I had to move. And I went in and smashed out another piece what was in the sun, and now that's froze over as well. So I think you can certainly say the only chance we had today was no chance. Even though we've had a rig in the water, I don't really think either of us expected a bite, and unfortunately that's how it's panned out. But
yeah, I think the conclusion was, we've had a chat amongst ourselves, is they ain't moving around, mate.
no.
And in those circumstances, correct me people if I'm wrong, but location is the top of the agenda. You've got to be on them, and with the lid on the water, there's no signs of obviously showing because the fish can't show. You can't see bubbles, so it's just like the blind leading the blind. Is that right, Mark?
Well, we've had 2 rod lengths, that's all we've had to throw at, so you can't even move your baits around. So there's a couple of pole fishermen come, used my rope, and knocked a couple of rod lengths out up in the corner. I think they've had 2 or 3 fish each.
They've really struggled, haven't they, mate? And if they're not catching the silvers,
they can't catch roach on a maggot. I think if we could have potentially got in the middle of the lake, I think we might have picked a couple up, but it's been it hasn't been cold, mind you. I haven't had my coat on when I've been in the sun for
no, you're right,
for a couple of hours. But
certainly where I've been fishing, the sun's gone down now, but the back of those hills there, the sun popped up around about 9 o'clock, 9:30 this morning, and I've got to be honest, it was absolutely lovely. But the last half an hour, it's dipped behind the tree line, and the temperature's plummeting now, and I think they're forecasted what -3 tonight. So
unfishable tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, you can see on this bank, there's no ice at all left. It's all been melted, but on the bank over the back.
Yeah, got a bit here, mate. Where all the gear is.
Where the sun hasn't got. It's just it's been a crawler really, but we expected it. But if you ain't got a rod in the water, you can't catch a fish.
That's it, mate.
We've given it our best shot.
Like we do every session.
And hopefully next Monday it might be a bit brighter.
Yep.
Well, it won't be any brighter, but
it'll be liquid.
It'll be liquid. We can throw out as normal, rather than spend 2 or 3 hours bashing hell out the ice and then probably spooking any chance we had away in anyhow.
As always, if anything does out of the blue happen, which you know I'm not very confident, but you never know. We'll
2 minutes, haven't we? So.
Yeah. If anything happens worth showing you, we'll get it on the blog, folks. But if not, from myself and Mark,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, folks.